What's up? Welcome to the spot. I'm Asa Rehman. Apologies for being a little late with this Gameweek 25 preview. In this video, I'll talk about the top fantasy players from each match and reveal my Waiver 11 for Gameweek 25. And remember to subscribe to my channel, The Spot, and ding the bell so you're notified every time I drop new content. Now, before I preview the upcoming fixtures, I just want to say thank you to my sister for sending me a gift earlier this week for my birthday. I was so happy to receive this great book in the mail. It is a really fun read about the English Premier League, especially in the 90s when I fell in love with the game. And I know it's a really good book because I own it. It's one of just 7 books behind me right there. And if she watch these videos, maybe she know that, or maybe she just doesn't pay attention to the books in the background, which is totally understandable. Anyway, thank you, sis, for the gift. I can't return it, so I'm gonna have to pay it forward and give it to someone who does watch these videos. All you have to do is beat my Waiver 11 this week. Let me know what your squad looks like in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter at @thespot4ff. Maybe share a screen grab of your current team, and if you beat my Waiver 11 this week, then I'll send you the book. If more than one team beats my Waiver 11, which is totally possible, then I'll do a draw on one of the upcoming videos. I'll mention this again later in this show. Right now, let's preview the upcoming fixtures. We'll start with the single match on Friday, Wolves versus Leeds. The most consistent players for Wolves are also the two currently in the best form. Ruben Neves is averaging 5.5 points in his last 4 matches, and Pedro Neto is averaging 4.75 in that same span. And in case you're new to the preview shows, I use a 4-game average to analyze these players, so that's the number you'll see on the screen. For Leeds, this is the first of 2 fixtures. They can certainly score goals. Patrick Bamford has 12 himself, and Jack Harrison surprisingly has 6 so far this campaign. Southampton also has 2 fixtures this game week, starting with Chelsea. They have 2-man attacking options. You know them, James Ward-Prowse and Danny Ings. They're both averaging 3.5 points in the last 4. Chelsea's attacking picture is getting a little clearer under Thomas Tuchel. Timo Werner has started the last 4 straight and is averaging 5.75 in that span. And Mason Mount continues to prove he's a reliable option in the midfield no matter who the coach is. He's been on the pitch for every single match under Tuchel so far. Now to Burnley and West Brom. Nick Pope has 8 clean sheets so far this season and is averaging 3.5 in his last 4. Dwight McNeil has 1 goal and 3 assists so far this season. West Brom's attack is led by Mateus Pereira and newcomer Mbaye Diagne. After a couple tough matches, they'll both be looking to get more touches against Burnley. Liverpool has lost 3 straight and hope to bounce back against Everton. Despite the recent slide, though, Mo Salah is averaging 7 3/4 in his last 4. Roberto Firmino has 6 goals and 5 assists so far this season. Meanwhile, Everton will be hoping to have Dominic Calvert-Lewin available. He missed the last 2 games and is still averaging 5.25 in his last 4. Richarlison scored his 3rd goal of the season in a 3-1 loss to Man City, so both teams are coming off defeats. Fulham is undefeated in their last 3 and hosts Sheffield United, meaning Josh Maja has not experienced a loss with his new club. He gets a rare 3-game average on the show. It's 5.3. Defensively, Ola Aina has a goal, an assist, and a clean sheet in the last 2 games. For Sheffield United, Billy Sharp is in the best form, averaging 3.25, and defender Jayden Bogle has twice as many goals than his single clean sheet this season. You do the math. West Ham hosting Tottenham, and Aaron Cresswell has 9 assists so far this season. Thomas Souček will be looking to add to his total of 8 goals. For the visitors, Son Heung-min has a double-digit fantasy point performance so far this season, and Hugo Lloris has just 1 clean sheet in his last 7. Now to Aston Villa and Leicester City. Emiliano Martinez has been one of the best fantasy keepers in recent weeks. Defender Matt Targett is the next best player in form for the club, averaging 5 fantasy points in his last 4. And Leicester City's duo of Harvey Barnes and James Maddison are each averaging 6.5 points in their last 4. Arsenal and Manchester City should be a great match. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he's found his form once again. He's coming off a 20-point hat-trick performance. Bukayo Saka continues to develop. He has 5 goals and 4 assists so far this season. Meanwhile, Man City is getting production from absolutely everyone on the team. Bernardo Silva coming off a 13-point performance, and Raheem Sterling has 8 goals, 7 assists this campaign. Manchester United and Newcastle is next. Bruno Fernandes has scored in his last 3 Premier League matches, and he bagged a brace midweek as well in Europa League play. Defender Aaron Wan-Bissaka is averaging 7.75 in his last 4 matches. Meanwhile, Newcastle's Miguel Almiron and Alan Saint-Maximin are the club's best attacking players right now, while Callum Wilson is out. Brighton and Crystal Palace could be a low-scoring affair. Lewis Dunk and Robert Sanchez have earned 5 clean sheets in their last 6 matches. And for Crystal Palace, they have struggled, to say the least, to score without Wilfried Zaha. But Eberechi Eze is averaging 5.5 points in his last 4. Keeper Vicente Guaita has just 4 clean sheets all season. And finally, the two teams with the double game week face off on Tuesday. Leeds' Rafinha has been very good over the past month and is averaging 6.25 in his last 4. And Stuart Dallas is always worth a punt because he gets forward and has 4 goals as a defender. So despite Leeds being terrible defensively, he can get you those attacking points. For Southampton, Stuart Armstrong and Takumi Minamino are the other 2 interesting options after Ward-Prowse and Ings, but it is a bit of a drop-off from Ward-Prowse and Ings. All right, let's get a look at this week's Waiver 11. I enjoy this way too much. And remember, submit your team either in the comments below or hit me up on Twitter at @thespot4ff. And it can be from any site, FPL, Fantrax, whatever it is. Submit your team. Let's see if you can beat this week's Waiver 11. Now, before we get a look at this week's Waiver 11, let's look back on the Game Week 24 group. A real gritty defensive performance, clean sheets galore, and of course the benefit of double game weeks for several players. Offensively, Ashley Barnes coming through with 11 points over 2 matches, helping the team get to a new Waiver 11 record, 62 points. Not too shabby. Okay, let's start building the next Waiver 11. This time I'll be picking from waiver players in a new league that I just joined over the weekend. And maybe some of the people in that league are watching. So I just joined over the weekend. We had a great draft last Sunday. So the waiver pile not as fruitful as my other league. Aaron Ramsdale was not selected, so I'll go ahead and get him in goal. Carl Darlow was also available, but I'm staying away from that match against Manchester United. As for my defenders, the first 2 are both from Fulham. Ola Aina and Kenny Tete will have a good chance to score some points, some clean sheet points, with Fulham hosting the lowest scoring team in the league, Sheffield United, scoring just 15 goals all season. Brighton's Joel Veltman has been a big part of their recent success, helping stabilize that back line. And Matthew Loughton of Burnley rounds out the starting defenders. He'll face West Brom this weekend. Moving into the midfield, then, he's becoming a Waiver 11 regular now. Newcastle's Miguel Almiron has 4 goals and 1 assist so far this season, and hoping to get some points against United, and he can help out this Waiver 11. Next, I'm taking Declan Rice, who slaughtered one from the spot for West Ham against Sheffield United last week. I always like guys that can take penalties, so maybe you can get me some points there. Now I'm having to get a little creative with my starting 11 with this waiver squad. Adama Traore has no goals and just 3 assists so far this season, so he's due to break out, right? He's due. He's got to be due against this leaky Leeds side. I hope so. And speaking of breakout potential, I'm hoping Martin Odegaard can get some significant playing time and score a big goal against Manchester City. So rooting for Odegaard this week anyway. Up top, Jay Rodriguez is quietly coming off 16 points in the double game week. He should have chances to score once again against West Brom, and I'll roll the dice a little. It's always tough to find forwards in this Waiver 11, so I'll roll the dice and go with Joe Linton and hope he gets a rare start in place of the injured Callum Wilson for Newcastle against Manchester United. On the bench, it's Carl Darlow, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Semi Ajayi, and Michy Batshuayi. There it is, and remember, if you beat my Waiver 11, you have a chance to win this book that my sister gave to me for my birthday, but I already have, so now sending it forward to you. All you have to do is let me know what your starting 11 is in the comments below. You have to submit it in the comments before the first match kicks off this game week, or you can hit me up at any points over the weekends on Twitter at @thespot4ff with a screen grab of your team. Good luck. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and thanks so much for hanging out at The Spot.